Welcome everybody to episode 4, Cuatro, the Johnny Storm of the series. Thrusters engaged, flame on. 3, 2, 1. There was a game that I used to play in my computer class at the middle school I attended, St. Peter and Paul Middle School, Hopkinsville, Kentucky 270. There was this computer game that would help you increase your typing, your words per minute, while also maintaining the integrity of correct spelling. And you would traverse across the cosmos. And if you got a word right, if you spelt it right within a small, like 10-second timer or something, then you would get to move on to the next planet. Now, that has nothing to do with anything pertinent to what happened this week or the rest of this episode, but that was on my mind, and I can't recall for the life of me the name of that game, and I tried looking it up, space computer games. Couldn't find it. But what did happen this week? Well, if you listen to our previous episode, then you know that it was fight week. And our champion, El Champion, Max Holloway, fought last night. What would be Saturday night, but at the moment of this recording was last night. Fought Alexander Volkanovski for the featherweight. That's the 145-pound UFC title, world championship. Alexander Volkanovski is the champion. He had won the first fight. There are those who maintain that Max won. I am included in that camp. No change in tune here. The song doesn't change at all. We thought Max won again Saturday. Rounds 1, 2, and 3. We thought we secured handily. The first 2 rounds easily, for sure. Scored a knockdown in each round. The third round is the round of contest, the round of debate. Rounds 4 and 5, I feel I scored for Volkanovski. Certainly round 4. And then round 5 was close, but Volkanovski did secure a takedown late in the round that really kind of pushed me to give it to him. But that third round was very tight. It was very close. That's the round where the momentum of each fighter met and crashed into each other. Up to that point, Max was balling. Taking him to a seminar without even charging him, as Dwayne Lowewood once said. It was a thing of beauty. Piecing him up. Teep kicks up the middle. Returning with leg kicks. That's something, that was the biggest change to my very, amateurish novice eyes from the first fight to the second fight. That every time Volkanovski threw a leg kick or landed a leg kick, Max responded in full. Man, there was no slow start for Max in this one. He came in wired like a Mountain Dew. I think that's the orange one. And but it is what it is. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough in 2 people's eyes to give us the trophy. But Max carried himself as a champion beforehand. He carries himself afterwards. It is what it is. He doesn't need a championship belt. He has the admiration of his people, and he gave an honorable account of himself Saturday night. He fought for his people. He represented his people. He represented his ancestors, and he got down. And I feel confident speaking for all Hawaiians that we're proud of him. And he's our Pacifica champion. Going on onto the rest of the card. My original picks, I can't remember if they differed from this, but what I told Marco Saturday night as we watched it together at Anthony's, my picks were Rebus over Van Zant, got that one. Thug Rose over Andrade, got that one. Though I thought Thug Rose would finish her. Instead, it proved to be an absolute banger. Straight banger. The strawweight division is one of the most, if not top 3, the men's heavyweight, the men's lightweight, and the women's strawweight divisions are box office guarantee. And Thug Rose and Jessica Andrade freaking went to war. It was gnarly. Thug Rose looked good, man. It had been a long time since she fought and she got down. She pieced Andrade up, landed some heavy shots, but clean, straight, crisp shots. Beautiful technique. And then Andrade, man, the definition of a mountain. Dude, she could not be moved. And she was firing back. She blasted Thug Rose in the grizzle. Put a baseball underneath Rose Namajunas' eyeball. It was gnarly. The strawweight division, man. Zhang Wei Li, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Thug Rose, Tatiana Suarez. Don't forget about Tatiana Suarez now. Tatiana Suarez will pretzel you up. You know, a lot of people, a lot of MMA heads know what she's about. Know that she's she's like Khabib, kind of. She's a savage. And I can't wait to see her come back to competition. I can't wait to see her back in the mix. She's right there. What will probably happen now is Thug Rose will probably fight Zhang Wei Li, which will be amazing. The greatest fight of this year and the greatest fight in women's MMA. One of the top 5 greatest fights in MMA history, regardless of gender, happened this year. I believe it was in February. Zhang Wei Li versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And if you know how Thug Rose gets down, then rest assured, Zhang Wei Li versus Thug Rose will be can't miss television. Book it. There was 3 championship fights. We already talked about our championship fight, the one that mattered most to us, Max versus Volkanovski. The other 2 championship fights, Jose Aldo fought Peter Yan. I thought Jose Aldo was going to win. I picked Jose Aldo to win. It was, partly sentimental, partly nostalgic. I had watched about a week and a half ago the Peter Yan versus Uriah Faber fight. And, man, it left me with a sinking feeling in my stomach. Just the hopelessness, the despair that only one can feel when watching something so brutal, so hardcore. Peter Yan laid it on Uriah Faber savagely. And at the end of his fight with Jose Aldo, he laid it on Jose Aldo savagely. I thought Jose Aldo looked really good the first 2 rounds. Really good. And he was landing some really strong leg kicks. He looked like vintage Jose. Now, we hadn't seen Jose utilize his leg kicks a lot. That had been a criticism in the Max Holloway fights. That he had kind of drifted away from the leg kicks. The Jeremy Stevens fight, even though he had won that. But in this one, man, he was firing them, and they were cracking like thunder. But Peter Yan, dude, I slept on him. Well, he woke me up. He slept Jose Aldo, and he woke me up. Peter Yan is faux real. Now, where does Peter Yan go from here? Aljamain Sterling is the most worthy contender. That's the fight that should happen if we're looking at it from a meritocracy standpoint. But I could easily see Henry Cejudo sneaking back in and taking it away from him, and forcing us all to go through the second cringe era. But hopefully not. If the MMA gods are smiling upon us, hopefully not. Peter Yan will fight Aljamain Sterling. All will be great. But you know what I had thought of, and actually I think this, for me, this is the most interesting storyline to come out of, is what Jose Aldo does after this. And I think I thought of a fight. I was out for a walk, and I was thinking about this. Where does Jose Aldo go from here? There's another former champion that just lost recently, via finish, to Henry Cejudo. Jose Aldo versus Dominic Cruz would be awesome. It'd be a fight between two former champions, two future Hall of Famers, two guys that are easily top 10, if not top 6 in the bantamweight division. So there's value from a ranking standpoint, from a meritocratic standpoint, and there's inherent aesthetic value. You have two former champions going to war. It'd be awesome. Book it. Quinn says book it. And then in the main event, this was, kind of a pancake. But it is what it is. We're not stepping in there with Jorge Masvidal, so whatever. Kamaru Usman defeats Jorge Masvidal via 5-round dominant decision. I said this on our UFC 251 fight preview in the previous episode, that if Jorge didn't finish Usman early, Usman was going to hold Jorge along the fence and grind him out. And what do you know? Would you like a peanut? Yep, that's definitely what happened. And, it's like having a perfect meal. Every fight, Van Zant, Rebus, Namajunas, Andrade, Yan, Aldo, Holloway, Volkanovski. Those 4 fights, man, was a entree that was delicious. And then we get the dessert, Usman versus Masvidal. 'Twas shit. Not great. I mean, from an athletic standpoint, from a martial arts standpoint, awesome. We appreciate the fact that Kamaru Usman took away Jorge Masvidal's game and was able to apply his own and dominate Jorge Masvidal with it. We appreciate that. From an entertainment standpoint, from an aesthetic standpoint, and especially after everything we had gotten previously, it was kind of a letdown. It wasn't kind of a letdown. It was a definite letdown. But it is what it is. We got the trailer for the next UFC pay-per-view, the final fight in the trilogy. Stipe Miocic will defend the undisputed heavyweight title against Daniel DC Cormier. The UFC heavyweight champ is the baddest man in the world. And we're going to find out who the greatest UFC heavyweight is of all time with this fight. Arguably, not even the greatest UFC heavyweight of all time, the greatest heavyweight in MMA of all time. There's even a broader argument to have that if the UFC heavyweight champ is the baddest man on the planet, then the greatest UFC heavyweight champ is the greatest heavyweight combat sports athlete of all time. Now, that's a bold claim, but it's something worth thinking about. And maybe that's where we should leave it there. Think about that. I thought about ending it right there, but I'm just going to leave it with an awkward silence. In 3. Goodbye, everybody. See you next week.